Alleluia, Alleluia, Alleluia. Stand erect and raise your heads, because your redemption is at hand. Alleluia, Alleluia. The Lord be with you. A reading from the Holy Gospel according to Luke. Jesus said to his disciples, "As it was in the days of Noah, so it will be in the days of the Son of Man. They were eating and drinking, marrying and giving in marriage, up to the day that Noah entered the ark, and the flood came and destroyed them all. Similarly, as it was in the days of Lot, they were eating, drinking, buying, selling, planting, building. On the day when Lot left Sodom, fire and brimstone rained from the sky to destroy them all. So it will be on the day the Son of Man is revealed. On that day, someone who is on the housetop and whose belongings are in the house must not go down to get them, and likewise one in the field must not return to what was left behind. Remember the wife of Lot. Whoever seeks to preserve his life will lose it, but whoever loses it will save it. I tell you, on that night there will be two people in one bed. One will be taken and the other left. And there will be two women grinding meal together. One will be taken, the other left." They said to him in reply, "Where, Lord?" He said to them, "Where the body is, there also the vultures will gather." The Gospel of the Lord. There's something about one of these lines in St. John's letters which strikes me as something maybe particularly relevant for our day, or it fits very well in the modern mentality, where he says at the end, "Anyone who's so progressive not to remain in the teaching of Christ does not have God. Whoever remains in the teaching has the Father and the Son." And to be clear, thinking about the word progressive, I'm not thinking about like liberal or conservative, but just that sense that in our modern day, a lot of times we think we know better than God, and we think that these things that have been passed down from us to us from generation to generation, this teaching, oh, that's old stuff, that's the old way, and it doesn't have any merit or value for us today. But isn't it true that when we, as you all know and have experienced, when we encounter Christ and his teaching, when we follow the law of the Lord, as the psalm says, that's what brings us true life. A lot of these perhaps new ideas or new ways of explaining things don't fulfill as they say, promise that they might when they fall away from the teaching of Christ himself. It's kind of, in a way, just like a parent, who knows what's best for their children, God who knows what's best for us. The children at some point try to grasp the ideas of the laws, the reasons behind them, and things like that, and that's good. We should seek to understand what has been given to us in Revelation. And sometimes the children, though, they rebel, and then maybe later when they grow up and they're adults themselves, they see the great value that was there in what was taught to them and end up doing it the same way themselves. And it's the same way with God, right, and the revelation that he gives us. Sometimes we as a people kind of rail against it, but ultimately we find when we do follow it, it does bring us that fullness of joy that it promises. God was right all along. Our Father was right all along because he knows what's best for us. So may we remain in the teaching of Christ and the teaching of his church, and so have God within us and the fullness of life.